de pleine lune ce soir. La pleine lune. Vous savez, cette nuit où les maternités affichent complet et où le taux d'homicide part parfois en vrille. La nuit qui change parfois tout. Mais nous sommes là avec vous sur Kaléidoscope FM.
So Pierre, let's start with you real quick with your movie. It's a very touching film. What gave you the idea of approaching that concept and those characters?
I think that when I look back on my life, I have the feeling that the moments where I was the most happy was the moments when I was full of certainties. But there are also other moments when I feel really happy is when I'm full of uncertainties. So it's a great balance, I think. You are certain of things in your couple, in your work, but 1 week after you can be full of uncertainties and hesitating. So I thought that it could be interesting that a radio speaker, that woman who has the power to appease people at night, just by her heart, and she's also really insecure in her personal life. So I wanted to mix that. You are full of, she's leaving a boyfriend, but you can feel that she's not certain that she has made the good choice, and then 1 hour after she's on air and she has a listener who is full of uncertainties and about to commit suicide. And when I was a teenager, I was really impressed by a song called Don't Give Up by Peter Gabriel and Kate Bush. And I read that song has prevented many people of committing suicide. And I think in cinema is very good, is too good at showing killings, but it's very poor at showing grief and recovery. So in Radio Moon I tried to make a film where you can, when you watch it, you can fall into despair, but find tools, emotional tools to recover.
That's great. I think you did a very good job with that.
Well, and I would love to say, I mean, it's a lovely film. It's Tamara here. I'm the co-director of the festival, and I really enjoy it. It has such an intimate feel to it. You know, the way that you shoot it. How did you approach the camera work, the filming of it, to keep that tone that you were trying to convey?
Tamara, thank you for your question. I didn't want to portray radio as a glamorous thing. I wanted Sibyl, the radio speaker, to be like in an aquarium. Okay? Yeah, is it correct? Aquarium? So the camera is on her face most of the time, because I think that she feels the stakes of her listener, and I didn't want the radio to be too sexy, if you want. I wanted. She's like a boxer. She has to find the right words at the right time with the right person, and if your camera is pointing at just a face, then the audience can connect more with the radio speaker.
Makes sense. And just to add, Arabella, who watched, she said, I really enjoyed the concept of connection. The use of the radio connection was really interesting, and as the impersonal and personal colliding, and there's a connection without connecting physically, which is really interesting.
Yeah, I think the moon is really a radio. I mean, it's the biggest radio of all. Sometimes we lose the frequency of the moon, but it's always up there. So in a way, it connects people. And maybe the last thing I can add is that today, with the online shopping and the big corporations, there are less and less professional activities where regular people can experiment guilt. So I wanted to find a job where Michel, the listener, can experiment guilt, because when you cannot phone Amazon or big corporation to say one worker, okay, I have a problem with your products. So I think that a travel agency is a place, is a work where you can make good choice, bad choice, and it's I think most of the time, unfortunately, people are getting deprived of personal responsibility in their work. Maybe more in Europe. I know in the USA there are more free. I mean, the personal responsibility, maybe it's in your culture. But in France and in Europe, sometimes you have a social power above you that can make you feel more comfortable in your work. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, because it strips you from real responsibility and the desire to take risks in your work.
Thank you, though, to Pierre. Those were great answers, and really appreciated that insight. That was really, really interesting.
Thank you, Tamara. Thank you.
Yes, I really love, and especially what you said about the moon and everything, and I love. It also was funny that Anthony said something about having worked in radio, and his brother worked in radio, that it is like a fishbowl. So,
I want to say too about Radio Moon that the lighting is really gorgeous, and it does a great job of capturing that sort of loneliness and isolation at night. And then I liked the ending where she walks out on the roof and the sun is coming up but the moon is still out. That really gives a feeling of transition into whatever's going to happen with her next.
Yeah.
But,
thank you, David. I will pass your comment to Sophie, the director of photography.
Please do. Yes.
She's a really talented woman, and we have just a day and a half to shoot the whole thing. So I will transmit your compliments to her.
You filmed all this in a day and a half? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, we just spent 7 hours in the radio and 4 hours in the bedroom, and we only have 1 hour and a half on the roof because the sun was setting quickly. It was in June. The sun set quicker than expected. But I think Sophie has done a great job, and I will transmit.
And for you guys, what's next for you guys? What are you working on next? And Pierre?
I've made another short film called Apocalypse Notes, and it's made, and I am presenting it tomorrow in Florida.
Oh.
It's the story of a world where all the melodies possible are already made. So it's the end of music, because our music charts, the A, B, C, D, E, F, G, has been created 1,000 years ago by an Italian monk at the time where I think there was 200 people in the world who were making music, and now we are 7 billion. So I've always been surprised that all the melodies have not been created already. So it's both a funny and catastrophic story, and the hero is a young guitarist who is labeling his new songs, and there is a woman who's telling him that we have created 99% of all the melodies. So in 6 months from now, all the musicians will be unemployed. I will submit it to you next year, Marx.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's a really yeah, David, it's an interesting concept, isn't it? Yeah, I think it's great. That's actually something that really could probably happen, right? I guess so. Technically, you get people getting sued sometimes when they accidentally copy the same melody and everything too. So that's really cool. Okay, well, you both have very creative concepts. I can't wait to see them. So
thank you very much. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone. I really appreciate all these really fabulous films that you submitted. So thank you. Thank you for answering our questions. Wonderful. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us.
Goodbye.
All right. Goodbye.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.